So conduct of operations is a set of instructions and tasks that you execute to reduce operational risk. If you go a step further, doing the same thing the same way every day leads to operational discipline, but what you have to build over time is a high reliability organization to achieve that end. It's very human-based as an outcome, because human error is a high potential risk of not doing that that has to be managed. So human performance, human engineering are key attributes of that. It also has to be addressed with culture, changing the culture to align with the requirements of executing that. And if you couple the values of that with the activities, then you can achieve it. And so we have to link what we are doing with why we're doing it. That's essentially what operational discipline leads to. So I'll break that into two parts. What are the goals of conduct of operations, and in what order would you put things together to create a maturity model of sorts? So to me, the things that are the goals of conduct of operations are a safe workplace, a competent workforce, shift management, because at the shift handover is when, for example, you have the highest potential for risk in a lot of cases. So if you, in other words, if you spend 5% of your time in transient operations, but 40% of the incidents occur in that 5% of the time, that's where there's a high yield potential. So operator rounds and operator logs and shift handover and shift management all belong together as a starting point. So I'd begin there, and then you can build out from there. So things like control of work, asset management, integrity operating windows, looking at things like safety instrument system bypasses, all those kinds of things are build out points. Procedural automation, so we can integrate the board operator with the field operator, and we can put effective decision support and the right tasks or work instructions in front of the knowledge worker in the field at the right time in context in flight. So visualization is the yield. When you put all this together and you effectively achieve a mature conduct of operations model, you can visualize and get into things from, say, a plot plan, a P&ID, drill down and look for these intersection points. So they're going to access that in a device, a mobile device. It could be a tablet, a phone, a heads-up display, even little tidbits on, say, a watch that feeds you information points, alerts and notifications namely. Those are all things that are how you get that information out to people in the field. So if I'm in the field, what this does, this changes the game. So effective decision support is rendered. What do I mean specifically? I can barcode with RFID as well. I can tell you the history of inspection, the history of work orders, all at the point of access in front of that piece of equipment. I don't have to go back into a trailer or to the control room, go pull a PHA binder from the shelf, which is frankly not very useful if you can't operationalize the risk you assess the hazards of when you did a PHA study. All that stuff's at my disposal. I can see it heads up in read-only. I can input data, and I can instantly verify with tag functions in the data historian whether or not the trend I'm seeing in real time is within the expected range or not. And then if it's not, then I can have a variety of safe operating limits I can look at, operating envelopes, and pull what I would do in the event of a consequence of deviation right from a procedure right on my tablet to render a decision in the field without having to delay or being exposed to excessive risk because I don't have timely information.